Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It is Gem. Yes, drop gems. Thanks for joining me for another gem today. We're going to drop another gem on The Machinist, 2004. Christian Bale in The Machinist, 2004, guys. Now, this movie I saw probably 2006, maybe. I know it was a year or two afterwards, sometime. I don't know why I never heard about this movie, why this movie wasn't publicized, marketed the right way, or what have you. Christian Bale, like I said, this is spoilers, guys, so click off if you don't want to hear it. Go watch this movie first. I should definitely suggest that shit, and then come back, talk about it, comment, please. It would be much appreciated. Besides that, I'm going to give my freestyle thoughts on this, and freestyle the plot, and wrap it up. Awesome movie rant time. I recommend this movie. The reason I recommend this movie, you got Christian Bale, and he just carries the movie. He does the movie. No doubt about it, guys. His character's believable. Look at this shit here. Had that ready for you. Look at him. So he was really ready for this role. And let's talk about Trevor. That's the guy. He plays Trevor. He is an insomniac, basically, and he can't sleep for over a year. He hasn't slept in a year, guys. Something's really going wrong with Trevor mentally after he hasn't slept for a year, and he starts seeing things, and it seems like somebody's fucking with him constantly. And you can see this guy here, man. Great part. Great cinematography, great visuals, the atmosphere, the environment of the movie. It sucks you in, it draws you in, it makes you feel Trevor's, man, sleepiness, loneliness, depression, all that shit. Great story around why this is happening to Trevor, why he can't sleep for a whole year. The plot, yep, excellent. Good characters, great acting. Man, just a good movie. And how long is this shit? An hour and 41 minutes, and it just feels like it flies, guys. Feels like it's a shorthand movie. It's so good, and they get to where they're going, and they do it well back in 2004. So yeah, I suggest the movie, man. Psychological thriller, no doubt about it. So that's all I could say is just praise Christian Bale, praise the director, praise the actors and the cinematographer and the production designer. And all that shit, the whole movie involved. Great movie. So this movie here comes out with 5 million, probably most of that going to Mr. Bale here, and your box office should get 8.2 mil. I mean, I never heard about this being released, guys, in the theater, so that's fucked up. Your marketing was straight dog shit. You want to push your star, definitely. You got Jennifer Jason Leigh in there as well, and Michael Ironside. Come on, man. All right, fuck it. I'm just disappointed that I didn't see this when it was released, guys. Really fucking disappointed in that. But fucking awesome movie, Rant. Let's get on with this plot and give Bale what he deserves. The Machinist. So here it goes. You meet up here with Trevor. Trevor here is a machinist, and he has insomnia, guys. He hasn't slept in a year. You can tell because he gets very skinny. Very skinny. His eyes are sunken in. As you can see, he's losing weight. He can't sleep, and you can see his job here. You meet where he works. But in the beginning of the movie, they show you that he's wrapping a body in a carpet and throwing it down a hill, or what have you, trying to get rid of a body. So you know Trevor's in some shit here. But they flash to back a little bit to where Trevor before this happened here, where Trevor was just working his job as a machinist, minding his own damn business. But anyways, you meet this girl, Jennifer Jason Leigh, he sleeps with. She plays a escort in the movie. And that's pretty much his only friend that he talks to. So anyways, you go through your Trevor's life, and you follow him as he goes to the airport, I think every night at the same time, and meets a lady and all this shit, and drinks coffee and talks. And so Trevor's lonely, doesn't have much friends, and he's depressed. Even at work, he doesn't have friends. There's something about Trevor that's off. He's changed, they say, his coworkers. He's changed. Anyways, as Trevor's working, he meets a new worker here, Ivan. So Mr. Ivan there in that car, that sports car, comes into the picture, and basically getting in Mr. Trevor's head. He's already fucking in his own head, of course, if they're not sleeping for a year. He tells the escort that, and she's like, what the fuck? And we're like, wow. There he goes. He tells her. But anyways, you meet Ivan, and Ivan just following him around and trying to be his friend, kind of, and just talking to him in kind of a weird way, you know. But Mr. Bale here is very suspicious of Ivan. They see. Anyways, come to find out, Ivan, you know, let's just get to the point here where Bale, shit is happening. As you see, there's notes on the fridge. There's bills aren't being paid that he thought he paid. He thinks that someone's getting in his house and moving things or doing things, placing things. He's got a lot of weird habits where he cleans his floor with bleach. You know, he's just very OCD-ic at this point. If they're not sleeping for a year, not much to do to occupy your time. I'm sure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, he's got to think or do something. Anyways, you can see here, he's all fucked up. But it gets to the point where Trevor here realizes that this Ivan guy isn't real. He's just a figment of his imagination. He doesn't work there, and he thinks his coworkers are out to get him. Anyways, one day at work, Mr. Trevor here fucks up and basically behind the wheel, falls asleep behind the wheel of the machine, whatever you so to speak, while it's being fixed. Turns it on by accident. Mr. Michael Ironside, his arm is severed from this accident. After that, Bale is on edge even more, and he's getting ramped up even more by his coworkers that he's just a piece of shit and doesn't care and needs to focus. And look what happened because of his fuck up, because of his self pity, you know. Um, so Mr. Bale here, from this point forward, he goes to his escort girl there, and tells her about they're about to get me at work or whatever. He finds some boots in a closet or what have you, and he doesn't recognize them. But she says they're his boots. He left them whatever one time when he was over there, and he's like, no, they're not. And she shows him a picture or what have you, and he doesn't recognize the picture. And she says, that's you, and it's not him. It's not him. It's not him. See, it's not him. Then he runs out of there. So he's just like, what the fuck is she saying? What's she doing? So you get to the point here where Ivan is going to confront Trevor finally at his apartment. And when he does this, now there's a side story I didn't mention with this chick from the airport and meeting her and all that. Now, did I like that side story? Not really, because it didn't really need to go there for me. I just liked it on staying on the path they had, but they wanted to do a little side story. And I didn't mention that. As you can see, it's not really that important to me. It didn't affect the movie for me except for the worst. So what the fuck? Anyways, Ivan, he sees Ivan going into this house with this girl's kid that he talks to at the airport. Basically, this is where the movie comes full steam. Now, in the beginning of the movie, I told you that Mr. Trevor here, Christian Bale, was getting rid of a body in a carpet, rolling it down a hill, what have you, a cliffside. Well, there's no body in that carpet, guys. You see that the carpet unrolls and there's nothing in there. It's all a figment of Mr. Bale's imagination here. Of course, he's never slept in a year here, so his mind is just playing tricks on him. But it's bigger than that, because Ivan fills him in that Ivan is really a reflection of Mr. Bale back in the day. So Bale is actually seeing himself from years ago, before he couldn't sleep and all this guilt came upon him. The reason he can't sleep is that, yes, he has guilt. He committed an accident, a tragic accident, and the girl at the airport that I mentioned, her little son there, he ran him over in a speeding accident. He wasn't even an accident. He was speeding. He ran this fucking kid over and kept going. A hit and run, guys. And ever since that day, Mr. Bale here has been ridden with guilt and hasn't slept for a year. And, you know, he gets able to come full circle and realize and accept what he's done, and he has to. The only way that he can get through it. There's a lot of other scenes that I mentioned, guys, in this movie that are fucking awesome. Check it out. Anyways, he coming to the end of it, wrapping it up, like I always say, and yeah, so 7.7. I like that. Worth it. Anyways, he comes to the end of the film, and he turns himself into the police so that he may sleep. Finally, after a year, and he does sleep. He's able to fall asleep peacefully. When you're with Mr. Bale, Trevor here, as he falls asleep finally for the first time in a year, for telling the truth. So there it is, guys. And you know, there's a lot of little subtleties in this movie. Very fucking good, man. They connect the dots. Got to give props. So, yep. Thanks for listening to this awesome rant on The Machinist.